makes it quite greedy.
I mean, you've got some really fantastic team fight coming out from the side of Winstrike, right? You've got this black hole, you've got these snapfire kisses that can be tossed in. Oh goodness, people are just disconnecting all over the place here. And then of course you've got a Puck who can kind of set things up really nicely, right? You know, it's a pretty low cooldown to be able to jump in with a Dream Coil and then follow it up with, you know, some of these bigger ultimates. But it is a little scary, especially when you consider the Roche perspective as well. You've got a Templar Assassin and a Slardar. They are going to have H's so fast this game.
Yeah, and we used to, like, people always used to talk about, like, the counter your Dooms, counter your Magnus, counter your Enigmas, those big long duration cooldowns is you get Aegis online, and even if they take a fight with it, you have that second life after it. And that's, I think that's really how Spirit's going to play. Their lanes look solid. I think that's why they went for that TA last, because the Mars, he can do pretty well in the mid lane, but they want something to be able to smash the puck post level 2 and 3. And I think it's appropriate. Rebel has been honestly the standout for me from Winstrike, especially on the puck. He dominated the last few games that I saw him play it. So I think Spirit's approach is pretty damn good. And they also have the Lion too. And I look at Winstrike and they only really have the puck to get these initiations, and he could just die immediately after versus a puck, versus that Lion in particular. So a little worried for them on that front, but looking forward to perhaps some that infested puck just detonating heroes really quickly if they can get some good initiation.
Yes, they definitely have some nice burst damage in that regard. But both teams have been smoked up. They're just doing a little bit of reconnaissance, trying to see, you know, what can we find out here? As the Crystal Maiden will reveal herself first and foremost. Looks like Winstrike not convinced they want to really go in on this, so they're going to back off, as is Team Spirit, grouping around the tower.
Fighting into CM is always a little bit scary. Even though there's a TA who's a literal do-nothing hero, they also have some do-nothing heroes on the side of Winstrike. They have the Life Stealer and they have the Enigma, who literally are just like attacking early on at level 1. So no one really, both teams quite hesitant to just take that battle.
They are positioned very forward here, though, over here on the side of Team Spirit. Look at this aggression.
The battle begins.
I'm excited just to get to watch another Collapse Mars and just a carry Slardar. We don't get to see carry Slardar, and a Collapse for me has been the most impressive Mars, besides Boxy, who was looking phenomenal the other day. He's so good on this hero, just so comfortable, and knows which heroes to go for. So I think this game it's going to be similar. Just the angles of approach, just going for killing the poor Puck, Lion, and Mars, they're going to have their eyes set on him.
Gosh, it's so funny that you mentioned that too, because, you know, you talked about the Mars, but also, like, when I think Boxy, the first thing that comes to mind is actually Slardar. So
me too, yeah.
It's kind of an interesting game here, for sure, but everyone has just wandered off now into the lanes. We're going to be focusing up on that CS, obviously, and probably not going to see a lot of aggression coming out right away for either team.
No, definitely not. Lane, we'll see, like, bottom is going to be really one-sided, I feel like, for Spirit. They should just get absolute free farm of Slardar, besides just the few Eidolons that get denied. Cheshire Cat is going to heavily struggle down here. They actually didn't even block any of the camps, so there will be pulls that come out. As Miposhka can't kill his sentry in time, but that's okay. He will have the small camp available to pull it back.
Pantomime and Mira just kind of trading hits here. Do have to be a little bit careful, though, because Mira definitely getting the better end of this trade and also able to immediately take down the sentry, block the camp, and sort of set up the lane very nicely for Collapse there.
Yeah, a lot of time Lifestealer is pretty good versus the Mars, but I think with the backup of Lion, it changes it quite a bit, because there's those double forms of Disable, and Lion, I mean, the harassment, it really does start to build up, so Lifestealer does have to be a little bit careful in the first few levels. And yeah, we'll see if this Enigma, if this greed does pay off. I'm a little worried, because I really feel like the mid matchup in particular is going to start getting pretty one-sided pretty fast. First 3 levels, great for Puck, but once TA hits 3, 4, 5, it quickly starts to get much worse.
It's interesting that we're starting to see this Enigma show up in the jungle more and more. I'm trying to remember which player did this recently, where they just went off to the jungle, showed up, and just made a huge impact. Was it Snaking?
It was Snaking, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I was going to say it. Yeah, he did really well. He actually got some really clutch black holes in the game too. And I think it's probably the best way that you have to play the hero, because of just your conversions are so bad. Like the cooldown now, if they get killed in the laning phase like early, you have like 30-40 seconds when you're doing nothing. Can't actually deny the same like double range creep every time. So you just have to play your own game. It's back to the old days of Enigma.
I was about to say, man, it has been a while since we've seen someone just straight up just walk right into jungle. It used to be an actual thing way back in the day, but it is interesting though. I wonder now, because we're seeing so many of these Enigmas, right? They're heading in the jungle. if we're going to be seeing a resurgence of these roamers a little bit more that can really put the pressure down, because he does tend to sit very low. They have to be so careful down here. Yatoro and Poshka are just slaughtering Cheshire Cat. They need maybe one more hit, and Yatoro will find it.
This is going to be really problematic. Like this Slardar is going to be absolutely huge. CM, I actually feel like Miposhka now soon at some point may just be able to just like ditch the lane soon. When they get in a good position, the Slardar can 1v1 easy versus Bloodseeker, and CM has an open map. And then look what you're mentioning, you know, if he's able to just like walk into the jungle, find an Enigma, that'd be a blessing for Miposhka.
Well, I think it's one of the things that you have to be very aware of, especially after watching, you know, several of Team Spirit's games, is just they reach a certain point and then it's just, they don't stop. They know exactly what their power peaks are. They know, you know, their item timings, and they're just going to group up and be extremely aggressive. And as I say this in the top lane, Dota2 is not looking great because Collapse will find himself a kill on the Lifestealer. But I mean, in terms of like looking at their draft, Fog, this is such an aggressive team very, very early on. They're not going to be able to find a footing if they start to fall behind at all on the side of Winstrike.
I absolutely agree. I don't really see the purpose of when they picked the Bloodseeker. You know, I didn't see like some standout being like, damn, it's a good Bloodseeker game. It wasn't really showing anything. You know, these heroes from Team Spirit, they don't really care if they get ruptured as much. They'll just stand in the Mars arena and fight as Yamich checks the rune.
Mad. He's so mad. He watched it just get denied in front of his face, and Toronto Tokyo was having none of that.
Well, he shouldn't be too mad anymore as he gets himself handed a free kill. I mean, that's okay. I think this game is going to get pretty one-sided pretty quickly. Like, Lifestealer is not getting a good start up top at all. I feel like it's going to get progressively worse as we see Collapse. Just early game items. Just Soul Ring straight into Orb of Corrosion so they can constantly harass this Lifestealer. Yeah, Duraccio's game is going to be quite slow.
It's just so difficult, right? And you figure, you know, he does have that little bit of an insurance policy in the fact he has, you know, Rage, but Cookie Hop forward might be able to find himself a little bit of a kill here as he uses the Rage to use the Fairy Fire, so he does manage to get a kill on Mira. So that definitely feels a little bit better, but does have to be careful because, again, the aggression coming out from the side of Spirit is intense and furious here.
He's still just not really getting many last hits. Like 14 last hits to the 27-16 of the Slardar, who's also getting kills enabled on him.
Top lane? No, just a little bit more pressure over on Collapse, but when you don't have that cookie available, you have no way of locking them down and holding them in place. As Mira making a rotation here, hoping that maybe Rebel will get a little bit too aggressive perhaps, but Rebel just gonna back off, realizing Lion is nowhere to be seen on the map. Maybe now is not the time.
Yeah, he's smart, plays it careful. The lowering Collapse up top to like 200 health is actually quite nice. Even if they don't kill him, it's actually opening the lane bottom for Cheshire Cat because he has all the thirst stacks. He's got like 400 move speed. They can't actually go for the kills on him. Not getting last hits, but he's up to level 5 already on Bloodseeker, which I'd say is not too shabby.
I think you're pretty happy with the fact that you're able to at least soak, right? Sometimes it sucks when you're not able to actually hit those creeps, but at the very least, you can get close enough to the creep wave to make sure that you're getting those levels online and you can be an impact.
Yeah. And you know what, honestly, because they did make that Slardar the one position, the Bloodseeker Rupture is going to be a little bit more effective. As long as they're not fighting inside of Mars ult, because if that's the case, then they're not really going to be moving a whole lot.
Nope. Definitely not. But be interested to see, you know, when we're going to start seeing some of those rotations, if we're going to start to see the puck, you know, try to be a bit aggressive, or... I feel like they're just getting too much done here on the top lane, honestly. In fact, yes, there it is.
They got to make a move.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Rebel coming in hot here. They'll follow up with the Yamich, and there's going to be 4 heroes that will help Rebel collect his first Dream Coil kill here. I don't even think he used the Dream Coil, actually. Never mind.
No,
not even necessary.
Yeah, quick rotation too, and Duracio starting to catch back up on the last hits nicely. This little rotation is quite clean as Rebel. He'll get some harassment from Tokyo. Tokyo actually has a haste, so he might think about just like running at him at some point soon.
No, he's fine.
But
He's
hang
fine,
on to
just vibing.
Yeah, hang on to Coil though is huge because now we see Cheshire Cat. He's at level 6, so now even Yatoro, he has to be a little bit cautious down bottom as he's gone full greed. It's a Midas first on the Slardar. I like it though. I actually really like the Midas on the Slardar carry. The attack speed is just so beneficial as a Slardar, and just of course, you know, levels. He's gotten away with a free lane, so why not? Yep. And I think they're playing greed versus greed, so if they want to raise the greed, he'll raise it right back as mid.
This mid, the Meld Strike, they have all the lockdown for the puck, but not going to be able to quite finish off as Last second, though, Toronto-Tokyo turning around. He is ruptured, though. Use the black hole to take down the TA as well. So I think both of them getting punished here, but we'll lose both of the mids. I guess this opens the door, though, right? Because they did use the black hole. It was definitely a worthwhile target, but they definitely have a lot of breathing room here where they can start making more plays without that worry over on the side of Team Spirit.
I think overall Spirit is going to be more of like the fast-paced gameplay rather than having to rely on cooldowns. They're going to constantly be looking for these type of pickoffs on Pantomime here in the river. Do they have the damage?
Look at the damage. Yeah, they do have the double damage over here on Lion. He can just murder Pantomime, and it's not enough damage to take down Mira here. So that's a nice little pickup for the Lion.
Yeah, this is like, they don't have to worry about like the coil. They don't have to worry about the hole now. So I feel like for Team Spirit, they can just kind of chill in their lanes, just farm it up, and I think that their draft, it scales really nicely versus this Lifestealer carry. Sure, Enigma's getting away with his greed. He's actually top net worth for his team somehow, Yamich. But this Lifestealer's game is just never going to be easy into these matchups. TA and Slardar will shred him if they ever get any type of disable onto him.
And this whole thing, it just comes about because Pantomime was trying to wait for Ribble to get over there and pick up that double damage rune, but unfortunately not going to be able to do it. Cookie Cap just a little bit short here. The top lane, Mira getting to position, lands a beautiful Earth Spike over onto 2. The Hex comes out. They have to be careful to go. They'll use the arena. They drop the Midnight Pulse. Yatoro is, of course, here. He's chasing, Collapse, trying to stay alive. Does look like he's going to be all right, but the Blood Right's going to come in over on the side. Can it connect? Oh, he's still alive. Oh, no, Yatoro at the top lane. He TP'd in, and he TP's into his death, as it looks like they'll be able to get another kill. Cheshire Cat will collect over on Collapse. Toronto-Tokyo. Oh, my goodness. The Dream Coil. They've even got the Kiss. It does get interrupted, but they'll still be able to take down the TA, and this is not looking great for Mira here, as there's just too many arrows, too much damage. Winstrike hitting fast and furious here.
And they clean up the big creeps of the Ancients. They actually get all 3 of the big creeps. Dyrachyo going to finish those up, and I take back everything I said about the Bloodseeker. Cheshire Cat, the Rupture is being extremely effective right now here, especially on that Slardar who TP's in a little too aggressively. They thought they could take the fight, but Winstrike, they bring the numbers. And this Enigma, it's starting to work out. He already has Solar Crest. I mean, he's so farmed. Now Dyrachyo, even though he's had a bit of a tough time in the lane, he's completely recovered when he's buffed up. Look at his armor. 26 armor. So now those melds and that Slardar corrosive phase won't be nearly as effective.
Well, it's definitely necessary for sure to stand toe-to-toe. It's still not a super easy game for this Lifestealer when you have this many, not necessarily counters. I guess, yeah, Slardar is definitely a counter, but feels a little bit
the chain stuns and all that will be definitely problematic. The bash overall always will. Corrosive hose always will be some type of problem. It's all if you can get the rage up or if they can get the initiations with those infests. That's a big hit though. Winstrike. After a little bit of a weird lane, a little bit of a shaky start here with that Enigma in the jungle, they hit big around Ancients.
Yeah, definitely have to feel good about that, being able to take down so many heroes, and we'll still make another initiation over on Dyrachyo. Rage will
misses the chain stun.
He's just going to go right back to hitting those creeps. Seems pretty happy about it.
Pretty big slip up there from Mira. That was definitely, I think that was a free kill there if he actually connects the stun. They have Collapse with the ult. They have the Finger too. They'll actually miss out on a kill on the Lifestealer perhaps there.
Huh. It looks like the TA is going BKB first.
Okay. That's quite different.
Yeah. I'm not usually used to seeing a TA do something like that. Usually the Deso, of course, the Blink Dagger. Yeah, we've just got that Mithril Hammer, and pressure being placed now over on the mid lane.
Maybe he is really feeling just the scare after he just gets coiled in Mortimer Kisses. He maybe is just feeling that could just happen every time in the game. Maybe he's just feeling like he just has to go BKB, or they're just going to focus him every single time in the fights.
Definitely a possibility. I'm just a little bit worried. Like, yes, you have the Meld Strike, you've got that negative armor and whatnot, but then are you going to end up suffering? Because you get this BKB, which, while it's good for team... Oh, off the mark there. Again, there's going to be the fortification. Because like Team Spirit, they want to jump in on this, but they've got so many buffs over here, over on Dyrachyo, and they just haven't been managing to leave... Oh, they're going in. Pantomime has himself a little surprise inside here. He's looking for the cookie hop. Spot out Yatoro and Maposhka. They have a nice deep ward.
Rebel. Nice stun from Mira, but they can't actually follow it up. And they're actually doing the double up strategy. So they have the medallion on Pantomim, they have the solar crest on Yamich. So good luck, your meld, your corrosive haste, it's actually answered because they've itemized like this. This lifestealer is sitting at like 30 armor when he's fully buffed up. Even if he is gonna get corrosive, he's gonna be strong. This is a cool approach.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not something you see often. It seems very cool. Dream Coil's gonna get used though over here, and immediately they follow up with the black hole. Yatro's toast. So is Collapse. They're not even allowed to participate in that fight. They just get murdered so quickly as Mira does manage to land that Earth Spike and run out, but they have just lost 2 of their big players on the side of Team Spirit. Winstrike looking real nice right now.
Yeah, and they're the ones being the aggressors. I actually did not think it was going to be them looking for these constant moves. I thought it was going to be Spirit because of that TA and that Slardar just having that big advantage in the laning phase. But no, Ward gets placed down. They instant jump.
Yeah, they're making all the right moves, and they had just great vision. That was definitely worth a black hole there.
Yeah.
Very nicely played.
Rebel is just always on point. It does seem like whenever he's playing this puck, the team knows how to back him up perfectly. His coils every single time so far have been so successful. And on the side of Spirit, they're just getting caught with the heroes that usually are the initiators. You know, the Slardar and that Mars. This time, of course, the Slardar is the carry, but he has to go for Blink. They need some form of initiation so that they can actually start a fight. Otherwise, it's just Winstrike time and time again getting the perfect setup. They'll find one here, it looks like. Pantomim.
They'll use the Crystal Maiden ultimate, but the cookie hat from Pantomim doesn't matter. Followed up with the Waning Rift. Immediately, Mira is dead. This is looking like a dead Maposhka too. As Cheshire Cat goes running in at the speed of light. And Rebel will be the one who slays the maid.
And they can't even kill...
coming out.
They can't even kill the 5-position snap when they find him alone in the jungle. This is going to be problematic here for Spirit. Yeah, definitely not a good sign.
It's amazing how fast this narrative have changed. You know, we're saying, oh, Team Spirit, they're going to be super aggressive. They're looking good. But just some really smart and very just creative ways of playing around the Team Spirit draft. I'm still absolutely loving the fact that, you know, they see that much negative armor. They pick up the Solar Crest and then also that medallion. Like, that's really cool, and that's really thinking with portals.
Yeah, no, I definitely love that they're, you know, just adjusting some little things. It's not your usual build-up for Enigma, but definitely working. He's going to go back for that Blink afterwards for some better team fight. He's almost got Blink, so he'll have follow-up for Rebel every time. Yeah, Spirit just getting ran at, not having a good response so far.
It feels like Collapse just can't find these openings. Like, he did get one arena off top, right? But it was immediately followed up. You saw Yamich there. He drops down that Midnight Pulse. Nobody wants to stand in that, and the rest of the team just immediately collapses on top. But, okay, it looks like Spirit's going to try to go for this Roche, but they scan it out. They know they're in there. The Blink Dagger's just getting picked up now for this Enigma. This is very scary. Doesn't have it just yet, but yeah, they've got the Atos. They're gonna hold the Templar Assassin into place, followed up with the Dream Coil and the Rupture. And the follow-up, though, they'll maybe be able to find themselves a kill. Finger comes out. They do manage to take down Rebel, but Toronto Tokyo standing off to the side. The buyback's gonna come out. They manage to take down Maposhka. Toronto Tokyo, though, he just cannot stand toe-to-toe with Pantomim. And now they're just chasing after Collapse with the Infest Bomb, and they're just moving too quickly. The Atos holding him into place. Winstrike surgically just ripping them apart. Yatoro is still up here. He's got to be careful. They don't have anything to cancel out this TP, so he is just barely going to make it out. His mirror is heading for the trees, praying, please God, don't pay attention to me. But that is the Roche that is going to be lost for Spirit and claimed by Winstrike. And
that may have just like ruined the whole game plan from Spirit. Like, they are all about Roshan with Slardar and TA, but TA just got owned. She got ruptured, stood still, and I don't know what happened afterwards. If he was still ruptured, he BKB'd at the very end and then just dies. That was kind of weird there from Yatoro, and I take back literally everything I said about the Bloodseeker. Cheshire Cat, he's having a phenomenal time. All these ruptures on point. And look at poor Tokyo. He's just standing there.
He's just standing there, yeah. Did he fat finger it? I don't, like, you're not surviving that.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit weird. And that was, the thing is, Spirit was the ones trying to make this move because they knew that the Enigma Black Hole was on cooldown, but they can't even get that Roche.
They're trying to make something happen over here, but it's just too scary. They're all grouped together.
It's falling apart quite hard. The Collapse, he went for all those early game items, Phase Boot, Soul Ring, Magic Wand, Orb of Corrosion, but now he's just so far from Blink, he's actually not even looking to build up for it, which that's really painful. They need their offlaner to be the one to go first. Instead, it's Yatoro playing the offlane from the safe lane as with Blink Slardar.
The double damage spotted out over in the bottom rune spot. Winstrike looking to pick apart anything they can. This ward has given them so much vision. Is okay. Poshka hoping that maybe that little extra armor would help or something. I don't know, but
They're just getting ran over.
They just can't, they can't find a footing.
Yeah, they can't find any type of pickoffs either. No blink daggers for good initiations. It's the carry with the blink, but he doesn't want to blink to start these fights because he'll just die instantly.
Right.
So they really need to, honestly, I think Collapse, there's no way he can go for anything else. He needs to get a blink or this game is just going to, it's going to end without them being able to do anything versus Winstrike, who now has all their ults up again. They're just going to hunt as soon as someone shows.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they know exactly where Collapse is, so I'm surprised. Yep, I was about to say, Yamcha is just going to break down all the trees. They're going to run on in here, just chonk away here over at Collapse and just put down that damage. You know, Dota is one of those games, Fog. I love being wrong. Like being able to, you know, we looked at this draft earlier and we're like, yeah, you know, this is just going to play too fast. Oh, they lose the courier. Oops. But I believe the blink was delivered at this point. But, you know, we looked at this draft and we're like, yeah, it's such early aggression, you know. This is definitely how it's going to play out. But Winstrike proving me wrong for sure. And just looking so good while doing it.
Yeah, same. It's like it all kicked off of that top fight, right? Where Yatoro makes the first move and just dies instantly after showing up with Midas. They use Collapse's ult. They get nothing out of it too. It's been a massive snowball effect and just great aggressive moves from Rebel and Cheshire Cat.
They jump in immediately. They just take out Miposhka. Easy Infest just hopping a creep, running away here. Yatoro joining in as Toronto Tokyo. How do you get them off of this tower, though, guys, is the question, because Winstrike, they're not going to let up. They know they've got this advantage. They've got a puck with an Aegis. They've got an Atos. Toronto Tokyo just melding in place. Doesn't want to go forward. Has the refraction up, at the very least. They use the dust. They'll use the rupture.
They see him.
They go right in. They pop the BKB. He's trying to just man-fight, and he just stands there, though. That's not what you want to be doing.
The Solar Medallion, absolutely, it's just it's full countering spirit. They just have no real actual magic damage. They're all physical. It's solved. He's even got evasion too. He's got the halberd, the best item you can pick up versus TAs in most games, and versus Slardar too. It's really strong. Just they don't have any damage to be able to take out much of anything on the side of Winstrike. Yatoro
Gets the bash off. Can they finish him off? Can they burst him quickly? All right, yes, they'll be able to go take down the Aegis. Atos, though, holding in place. Now Yatoro running away is going to get Dream coiled up. He's trying to get over to the high ground here. Miposhka trying to stand in position, trying to do anything that he can to help as, oh, they use the black hole and it only grabs the Crystal Maiden as Yatoro swims away. They'll lose the Maiden. They eventually end up losing the Slardar as well.
At least they got the Aegis, but
I know, right? You got silver linings, I guess. You know, they only caught the Crystal Maiden in the black hole. Yeah. I don't even think they need the black hole.
They didn't need the black hole. I think that's probably the biggest highlight, right? It's just like, okay, they use black hole. Maybe Spirit in the next 2-3 minutes, perhaps they can try to make something happen, as they will have the blinks. So they're going to actually be able to do something. Collapse is about to have his finished up. Same thing with Toronto Tokyo. So they will have triple blink daggers. So they still have potential to be able to try to catch heroes. They have to find them at some point when they're split up, because right now Winstrike overall with the team fight has been too strong. But no black hole, no coil, so maybe.
I mean, the problem with picking up these blink daggers is that they don't allow you to scale. They don't allow you to continue forward. As Continent, very forward here.
I just think they need anything at this point. They don't want Yatoro to be the only one blinking, because he was the only one with blink.
Yes, you don't want your safe layer. Okay, there's a nice crush over in the back line, but immediately the Rage comes out. They'll follow up with a very nice arena, as now they'll follow up. Impale, they still take down Yatoro. Pantherman does fall, or rather manages to take down Rebel. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here. As the Hex comes out, they hold him into place. They go with the Crystal Maiden ulti. Can they take down Dota2? Yes, they will. Now they chase after Pantherman here. He is going to get stunned up. He's got to go Scepter, though. Is he going to be able to teleport out? Do they have anything to cancel it? No, they don't. There's just no mana left over on this Crystal Maiden.
The blinks pay off. Yatoro, he may get focused, as it tends to be the case in every single one of these fights at the Slardar, but Collapse. He finds the dream target. They get Rebel, they get the Bloodseeker, these two die, and then Dyrachio is isolated. And that was them hitting back when there's no black hole in particular. So that was a nice hit finally for Team Spirit, as they've started to find a little bit of breathing room in this game, as TA has claimed top net worth again.
They desperately needed that. They needed to take a fight where they were able to make something happen, and, you know, definitely paid off. It is scary, though. The next time that this black hole is going to be up, it's definitely something that they have to watch out for, because Yamcha has been pretty on point with a lot of these. But yeah, the way that the fight opened up too, with the Slardar, you know, waiting patiently, not being the one getting jumped at, definitely turned that fight around for them.
Just finally able to get an initiation rather than every spell being casted on you and you have no response but watching, as Winstrike, they're smoked up, looking for any catch here. Yatoro doesn't quite have BKB. This looks like a pretty easy kill.
This is looking very easy indeed. Yeah, another kill here for Cheshire Cat. He's making this Bloodseeker look really, really good.
Yeah, he is. I'm honestly quite surprised. 5-2 and 8 when he was just left alone bottom. Just always finding the right targets for the Rupture. Just always getting it onto that Slardar or the TA.
Another tower going down. And it just feels like Winstrike has really just taken complete control of this map. Some quick math over here. You see the armor with Medallion Solar was the 30. Nice.
Very nice. I'm glad somebody did it for me.
Definitely helps. Lord knows my brain's all over the place today. My goodness. Oh my god, is Rebel gonna... Oh, Mira at last second blinks over to the side. Thought Rebel was gonna get himself a nice little pick off there for half a second.
They still have to be a little cautious on the side of Winstrike of just getting chain stun. The chain stun and just the burst, they can just remove a hero still quite quickly on the side of Team Spirit with these blinks. And the Deso is now about to be done for Tokyo too, so they will have some good damage now coming between the three cores. Collapse has also like somehow found almost a full BKB after just getting his blink dagger in the last fight. So they've actually gotten a ton of farm on the map after some scary moments in the beginning. They've actually shrunk that experience lead too from near 10k to below like 4,000. So Spirit starting to get in a much better position in this game.
They go and they use a scan. They know that they're hanging out over in the triangle region here.
Next big thing that they have to watch out for is Yamich's BKB when that ever does come online. It's going to come pretty quick because he does have that Philosopher's Stone. But besides that, I do think that Spirit overall, if they can get a good jump in the fights, it's going to be a little tougher for Winstrike. It's really going to be depending on who gets the initial go.
All right, we have the big smoke coming out from the side of Winstrike, hoping that perhaps they will find someone wandering around out in the woods.
Interesting how they infest the Bloodseeker too. Like normally it's like, hey, we have a vessel. We have Puck who can just jump in, but no, he's just giving the Bloodseeker tankiness. Look at his armor. 43 armor when this Bloodseeker is medallioned up. That's without even the Solar Crest. So, and look at his HP, 2480. So maybe just thinking tanking him up is the right approach.
I mean, it's worked for them so far. Oh, Yatoro has not had a game at all. He just immediately gets shredded into pieces. Maposhka now running for his life. Cheshire Cat has the Atos, though. He's got the blood right over on the ground. And the Glimmer Cape comes out. Don't quite have that vision, though, so gotta be able to leave.
Yeah, maybe we're seeing why, you know, that Slardar tends to be played in the offlane. Yatoro, he is really struggling. Phase boot, blink, Midas, almost BKB. BKB will help a lot versus most of this damage that's going to be coming up. But yeah, he just, every time, he's just getting caught.
I mean, the concept and the idea looked good on paper, right? You have a lifestealer, you want to play really, really fast, you want to get that Roche early, so you've got the Templar Assassin, and of course you've got the Slardar, who tends to be his direct counter. But it just feels like they're really lacking now. It's too scary because, I don't know, I'm not sure here, Fox, because you've got the initiation that can come out from Collapse, but
yeah,
they're missing an element. For sure.
They most definitely are. He is the entire team fight for the team. It's all on Collapse. He has to get like a dream arena, while on the other side, they have great ways to take team fight. You know, the Puck, the Black Hole, the Mortimer Kisses and everything too. They have a lot of different ways to follow up. I just feel like it's literally all Collapse. If he misses his spear with his ult, they just lose. They just lose the fight completely.
It's a lot of pressure on this Mars for sure. They're grouping up a little bit here though, perhaps hoping that they can get a smoke with Mira nearby, but they do need to push out these waves.
Yeah. They're probably feeling pretty strong, though. Triple BKB into this Puck who doesn't have Aghanims. If they can jump on the right targets, like, it's going to be tough for win. If they can actually get the jump, as long as they're the ones who jump first, they should be able to win that fight pretty hard.
They have to be careful. The Black Hole is up, of course, so that's going to be one of the big targets there that they need to make sure will not be able to survive and get this off. Collapse getting into position. Will get spotted here. Immediately, the Atos holds him into place. He's going to go for the arena and just barely misses off the side as Yatoro. He's looking for any sort of a target. He has the BKB. It's going to get ruptured. So they'll have to back off a moment here. Yatoro hiding in the
hiding.
pit. They know the kisses come out. The invest bomb, they just absolutely blow them up. Over on the other side too. They go for the black hole. It does get canceled out. But Toronto Tokyo chasing after the cookie hop coming through, but Mira goes down as now they're just chasing after Toronto Tokyo, ripping through that refraction. They place the blood right over on the back lines. You can see that they're just going to town here. Yamich will fall. Frostbite going over here onto Cheshire Cap, but he's still hungry. The cookie hop forward. Duracho gets himself a triple kill. And Maposhka hiding in the pit. There is probably the only way out for this guy is death. But it looks like, no, they don't quite see the Crystal Maiden, so. The Glimmer, oh, they have a sentry though. They walks right into it. That is a dead Maposhka. And this Roche easily belongs to Winstrike.
What a disastrous start for Collapse in the fight. He just completely whiffs. The arena is completely off the mark, and now he's the entire team fight. If that arena misses, like I was saying, there's no way that they can take the fight. Yotaro, it's actually like the worst way the fight can happen. Yotaro is the one who starts leading the charge. He gets ruptured with his whole BKB duration. Has to reset, but they see him perfectly and they just kill him. As yeah, Collapse needs to get better jumps if Spirit's gonna have any hope in the game. It's starting to disappear pretty quickly.
And it's very scary with the fact that now the Enigma is going to have a BKB completed for the next time that he goes into these fights, yeah. I have to say the Midnight Pulse has done a lot, but yeah, look at it, just barely missing it. Yatoro, like you said, has that BKB. Can't do much with it though.
No. He has to get the jump. They have to get the instant jump. They have to catch at least one hero with that spear on the wall and just instantly blow him up. They're going to try again. They have their BKBs at the ready. They've got the ult ready for the Mars. And there is no black hole, so maybe they can try to do something here.
True.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They've got to realize
Still
something's
hard.
up, though. Look at this, though. They don't have any other waves pushed out other than bottom.
Yeah.
This is sort of a desperation play, it feels like right now.
Tower has fallen.
They just want to get one good fight where they at least connect their spells, because then they can start to at least get like a little bit of space on the map, but it's just not happening this game. Winstrike, they're just buying time now too. 50 seconds for Black Hole. They're going to start their own push. Orb of Destruction into the bags of this Lifestealer, so the push is stronger.
Okay. Tokyo just trying to do some cheeky quick plays here, but it's so difficult. He's so tanky.
Yeah, even when he's Corrosive Haze, it doesn't matter, because now he's got Lotus Orb too to remove it. 47 armor. Like, Jesus. Love the build from Duracho too. It's pretty standard for Lifestealer, but just Armlet for armor, Halberd for the evasion / disarm versus TA, and then more armor with the AC. And he, of course, finds a Orb of Destruction for more minus armor to be put on them. And then he's just going hard. More Satanic, just buffing himself up, just being that much tankier. Because he knows if he survives the initial go, they'll win the team fight. As Black Hole's back. And there's a BKB on the Enigma, so this next fight, it's just harder and harder for poor Team Spirit.
I mean, they know that Yatoro's not there because he's showing in the lane, so I'm surprised that they're not trying to strike a little bit harder, a little bit faster. Yamich going forward, though, uses the Black Hole on Toronto Tokyo. They just want to get rid of this TA, and they'll be able to do it. Mortimer Kisses get shot out. There is buyback on TA, but it doesn't seem like he wants to use it as this Rax is just falling very, very rapidly here to Duracho.
Easy for the Enigma. When you have BKB, there's no cancel. Just blink and hold the target, the main one.
Yeah. The jump forward here from Rainbow manages to go and grab up both of these supports, but the immediate follow-up and Collapse, he gets off the arena, but it doesn't do anything because Duracho just walking in and out and around in circles. They might be able to go. Yeah, they finally be able to take down. And now Duracho just fighting here with Yatoro with that BKB. He's just going off here, trying to take down Toronto Tokyo. Eventually, the Aegis does indeed pop. Collapse has just been trying to hold everyone over on the back lines. Perhaps they've gone a little bit too far, though, because they do have the Hex, they do have the Chain Stun, they've got the Frostbite, and they'll finally be able to take down Duracho as he's been in their base for quite a while. Nothing to cancel out the TP of Pantomen then. And Yamich is forced to just run away.
And Winstrike definitely going a bit too far. They're going under the tier 4s, getting the Bloodseeker speared to a tower, the Lifestealer under tier 4s the entire time, getting beat on by Corrosive Haze, Meld, Deso. A clear overextension by Winstrike when they don't have that Black Hole available. They don't have Kisses available. They didn't need to go for all that. They'd already gotten the Rax. They actually just give Spirit quite a bit of hope there. Does cost some buybacks, of course, the triple buybacks coming into play, but pretty decent comeback from Spirit. Still, they need to do this a couple more times to have any hope in the game, but
hey,
not
it's
too
hope.
bad.
It's something. Hope. They'll take that. Because the before it was looking pretty dire for them. I wasn't even trying to
it.
make a joke out of that, but you know.
Attack.
And I think it was rough too because I believe we noticed as well the Slardar still had his TP on cooldown during that last fight. So perhaps they thought that maybe he wasn't going to show up. Maybe, you know, lots of different situations there. So Mira just.
I think Winstrike's just feeling them. They were feeling themselves a little too much. Rebel just going in for the 2 supports with the coil. Maybe not expecting those buybacks to come into play.
Yeah, I have to say, Rebel looks so good on this puck.
He always does, yeah. He's actually been super impressive for me constantly. And I actually Cheshire Cat too. I thought this game was going to be one where he just gets nothing on this Bloodseeker. He's having an excellent game. He's literally rupturing the perfect target every time. In the previous series too, and he's played like his Slardars and stuff, he's looked fantastic. So yeah, him and Rebel definitely looking really hot.
I guess the question is this is a situation because you have the I don't want to say the ultimate solution, but you do have the solution of a lion, right? To be able to try to like lock down this puck. Is it reaching a point though where Rebel is just getting this puck too often, where perhaps, you know, it's worth it to use a ban on it?
It might be. I mean, the hero is just super difficult to deal with a lot of the times. That's why they went TA too, right? Like to shut down in the laning phase, and it's not really worked. I mean, it might be just worth that ban. There are some, you know, you do need to ban like Beastmaster and stuff. Though, as Winstrike charging in with the super tanky Bloodseeker.
Pops. Toronto Tokyo hiding over here on the side. Well, turn their attention over to this Crystal Maiden. They do have the vision on her, but we get a big arena over on the back lines. But the Black Hole also capturing two. Toronto Tokyo and Mira getting caught in it. As now the finger comes out. They'll take down Yamich. Toronto Tokyo, though, eventually falling to Pantoman. And Pantoman has been just guiding them left and right, but they do have the BKB, so eventually they'll take down the Snapfire. Buybacks are coming out from the Snap as well. Cheshire Cat still hunting. Oh, the Atos, it clips over onto Collapse. He's not going to be allowed to teleport out. It is silent stuff. Fairly tanky, but he's got Dota2 and Cheshire Cat just hunting him through the tree line. Rabel joining in as well. Silence coming out. They've got the damage. Down goes Collapse.
They tried to go for the Enigma so badly. Mira as well as Toronto Tokyo. They tried to get the jump in the backline, but he actually blinks same time, BKBs and Black Holes right onto the Toronto Tokyo TA, who ends up killing him, but the damage was done. The TAs controlled the whole fight. Cheshire Cat gets the rupture off, and then Lifestealer is fighting on the south side versus things that he doesn't care about. He doesn't mind being inside of an arena versus a Mars or fighting versus Slardar at this point as this Lifestealer. He is a beast. Paladin Sword with Satanic too. No worries for him anymore.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
At this point, he can just waltz on into the space and start breaking apart the buildings. It's just too scary for Team Spirit to try to jump in the middle of all of this. They're too far behind now. They've got too many solutions. This Cheshire Cat with the Atos and the Bloodright has done so much this game.
It has.
Dream Coil gets used. It's only on Mira. They do have the... oh, they have the vision, though. They've got the dust. Duracho just runs right on in, and down goes Mira.
I like how they've approached some of these fights, too, on Winstrike. Like, they're walking into this scary high ground, but they have a Bloodseeker with 50 armor, and then he gets thrown Solar Crest, Infest, Medallion, etc., and he's got like 60-something armor with 3,500 HP, so you may be walking into a high ground, but this Bloodseeker's immortal. So it's a really interesting approach that's worked out super nice for Winstrike this game. And Spirit, I think they're going to have to go back to some more normal kind of things, because this one, it's kind of been solved, it feels like.
The immediate jump here. They've got the BKB. They'll follow up with the arena. Cookie hop out, though. Yamich just walks on out, and he got a little bit of help there from the Lifestealer, but will pop out, chase after, over Collapse. Mortimer Kisses do get used. Toronto Tokyo is sitting a little bit low, but they'll buy back. And they need to defend this last tower in racks, or else they're going to have mega creeps here, but not going to have that arena again. Look, he's just so powerful. He's too strong.
The minus armor debuffs and the plus armor.
Jump in here from the puck. Will manage to land the Dream Coil over onto two. They'll even use the Rupture as well. You can see Duracho, he wants to take out Toronto Tokyo, and he's going to be able to do it. The Black Hole comes out. They'll drag back over on Yatoro. He's going to fight back. Maposhka letting it go, trying to just get some of this damage up, but the Science comes out. They'll be able to take down Maposhka. The Hex as well. This nice stun up here from the Lion. They need to get this kill on Yatoro. Again, he needs to get back into his base. He's not going to be able to. The GG gets called. And Winstrike showing up here in this first game, and they just look incredible, Fogged.
Yeah, it really is like these first 15, 20 minutes for me. It's a lineup for Spirit where